continue to quote from that press conference in April. Question, sir, did you read the documents recently referred to by former Vice President Cheney saying that the use of so-called enhanced interrogation techniques not only protected the nation but saved lives? President Obama, I have read the documents. That we got information from these individuals that were subjected to these techniques doesn't answer the core question, which is, could we have gotten the same information without resorting to these techniques? And it doesn't answer the broader question, are we safer as a consequence of having used these techniques? What do you think? Could we have gotten information short of the so-called enhanced interrogation techniques?
You know, first of all, you have to rely on what the people who actually had the intelligence at the time knew. People like the CIA director, people like the president, the vice president, national security advisor. They all have said, I think in public, that this information was important and it did save lives and did stop attempts.
John Yoo is a war criminal. He should be in prison. He shouldn't be teaching at UC Berkeley. Fired, disbarred, prosecuted for war crimes.
Absolutely.
Well, you have to make a decision whether you think torture is okay or not. Torture is never okay. It is not okay to torture. He is a war criminal. John Yoo is a war criminal. He should be prosecuted as a war criminal.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, I think we all have views on this. My own view is that waterboarding is in fact torture. That's one of the questions that I would like to discuss during the question and answer period.
People of the world will have their justice.
That's right. I'm sure they will.
You murderer, you slut, murderer, war criminal, your victims will have their justice. Justice.
I'm sorry that people feel the need to act this way, but I'm almost done.
It's not a polite debate. Torture is a war crime. It's a crime against humanity. Torture is a crystallization. What John Yoo stands for, and to sit here politely with the most important torturer on earth is wrong.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're down to about 20 minutes. We're down to about 20 minutes, and with all due honesty, I think maybe I'd be able to ask this question a little bit more penetrating than is being done from the audience. So before Professor Yoo's service during his time in the Bush administration. Just a reminder for our radio audience, you are listening to the Commonwealth Club of California radio program, and our speaker today is John Yoo, Professor of Law at UC Berkeley's Bolt Hall and former Deputy Assistant Attorney General in the George W. Bush administration. In that capacity, Professor Yoo asserted executive authority to authorize enhanced interrogation of enemy combatants, and he is today discussing presidential power. Professor Yoo, your basic thesis in the book seems to be that our greatest presidents are those who, number one, faced a major crisis of some kind, and number two, who made the, and I'm quoting from your book, the broadest reach of their constitutional powers. But there seems to be perhaps a false syllogism here. The fact that presidents who exercise power were successful does not necessarily mean that all exercises of power are good. There are also bad exercises of power. Your book seems to give relatively limited attention to bold exercises of presidential authority that were deeply flawed, and I think that were fairly seen in retrospect to either have harmed our country or to have injured our basic commitment to democracy, to liberty, and to the rule of law. You are, of course, no doubt familiar with the examples, but during the crisis of
If the
president deems that he's got to torture somebody, including by crushing the testicles of the person's child, there is no law that can stop that.
No treaty.
No, and also no law by Congress. That's what you wrote in the August 2002 memo.
I think it depends on why the president thinks he needs to do that.
Enhanced interrogation techniques. Professor Hughes, you know the use of water treatment or the water torture by Japanese against U.S. soldiers during the Second World War was in part the basis for war crimes convictions before the International Military Tribunal in the Far East and for U.S. military tribunals that operated, national tribunals, military tribunals that the U.S. operated in the Asian theater. I'm of the view that waterboarding is torture. As you know, well, torture committed outside the United States by U.S. persons is a crime. If your legal position is wrong, the position in the 2002, the so-called torture memo, the August 2002 memo, is wrong, and it's instructive, or at least interesting to note that that memo was subsequently withdrawn by the Justice Department, replaced by a different definition. Should you be criminally accountable for torture? Or to ask the question that's been asked by those who stood up, are you a war criminal?
Should be disbarred as an attorney, and he's a serious fact. Clearly.
He's not like
You signed it up to We Are Change?
We are change.
Yeah, I love your speaking ability. You're the master. I mean, you know, I've never seen someone speak so eloquently and deceitful. I mean, how does it feel to be a puppet of the New World Order?
That's a tough one. Sir.
Oh, no, please, don't touch me.
He's doing something.
So how does it feel being a tyrannical, treasonous, traitor? Traitor? He's a traitor. This man's a traitor. He violated the Constitution. He doesn't even care about national sovereignty. National sovereignty will prevail. The New World Order is going down. National sovereignty will prevail. John Yoo is a tyrant. First Amendment. I'd like to speak here. John Yoo is a tyrant. He's a war criminal. New World Order war criminal. To We Are Change, douchebag. I mean, John, piece of shit, you. I got escorted out by the Gestapo. The law enforcement of San Francisco.
Which we pay too. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna have to report this to the Better Business Bureau for kicking out patrons.
paying customers.
Yeah, we're paying customers, man. Yes, John Yoo, torture is not a policy, it is a war crime, man. I agree with you 100%.
We're out here protesting We Are Change event again. I was about to throw up hearing him spit.
Oh my, you know what, dude? It's like he openly came out. It's like he openly came out and said, yeah, we're like doing it. So what? You know, so what? What are you gonna do?
Dude,
so.